Hello and welcome to the top 8 of the Star City Regionals brought to you by Wasteland Gaming. We are in the quarterfinals.
Yeah, we've got Zach Fleisher as our number 1 seed up against our number 8 seed, Jonathan Sparks. Jonathan is piloting the Abzan rally deck that was popularized last weekend, I believe, in Richmond. And Zach is playing his own Jeskai burn list. Lots of burn spells. More so than the average Jeskai deck would play. Looks like he's going to be deploying a Mantis Rider here. Taking some pain from the Battlefield Forge. Can't tell if that's a Shivan Reef or not. Also, I believe that's Temple of Epiphany, so probably just 1 damage here. He should be at 18, I think. We'll get confirmation on what the life totals actually are here in just a second. Yeah. Looks like 18 to 14. A hit from Mantis Rider and a lightning strike to the face take Jonathan down to such a low life total. I believe he should be at 13 with a fetch as well.
Yep, and a Flashback Marauder is going to take care of that Mantis Rider.
Oh, pesky Mantis Rider. Here's a Abbot of Carol Keep. One of my favorite cards from the new set has been doing very, very strong work in this deck. Getting you free lands off the top, a la Courser of Krufix, free burn spells off the top, a la Chandra or Outpost Siege. Just a very powerful card overall. Also just randomly has prowess.
Yeah, I talked to Zach before the top 8, and he said he's been very impressed with Abbott. He says he's been signing it out against the big green decks because it doesn't really match up well against their creatures.
I could see that.
But against creature light or creature less decks, it's been a house.
Absolutely.
There's another Flashback Marauder. It's the Merciless Executioner.
Yes.
Variety, the non-zombie one. Yep, looks like John is just kind of trying to preserve his life total.
Here comes another one here.
Ooh. Getting them lands right off the top.
Gonna grab him a Battlefield Forge, it looks like. And there's a Jace.
So I've also been very impressed by Jace this tournament. He has done a lot of good work. So it looks like John is getting close to the 5 mana necessary to go off with Rally. He just looks like he needs a couple more creatures in his graveyard. Looks like he has a Liliana in his hand and also a Mogus Marauder. Looks like he's going to play the Mogus Marauder. Get in there.
He's not doing too much else here. I kind of like that. I don't think you want to expose your Liliana just yet.
No, if you've been keeping track of Zach throughout this tournament, I mean, he's been in the number 1 seed for almost the entire tournament. You definitely know he has a ton of burn spells, so you don't just want to put your Liliana out there without any chance of her flipping.
I agree.
Speaking of flipping Planeswalkers, Zach just flips his Jace. Jonathan's going to have to take a looky-loo. Alright, let's see what Zach decides to do with this Jace. Oh, hasn't flipped quite yet. I think Jonathan was...
just asking a question.
Yep, just
about
trying
what
to
the
read
modes
it back.
are on the other side.
Though he can activate Jace this turn and flip it. And if he does, he can flashback the Lightning Strike to kill the Mogus Marauder if he sees fit.
I like that line. Just getting as much damage in as possible.
So it looks like Zach has another Mantis Rider. Ooh.
Looks like Exquisite Firecraft here.
4 upstairs, putting John to 9. I have been very impressed by this card today, too. Exquisite Firecraft has done a lot of damage to people throughout the day.
Excellent card. We asked him how many he was playing, and he said 4, no questions asked. Would not play fewer. So he's been very impressed.
Yeah, he was telling me earlier that he defeated a control deck that had 3 counterspells in his hand by casting 2 of them in a row, and yeah, that can't feel good.
It's certainly going to be very useful in this top 8. Looks like we have 2 copies, I think? Maybe just 1 copy of blue-black control in the top 8. Certainly some counterspells running around, though.
Yeah, absolutely. And even if it's not against a strict control deck, it's still decent against, small to medium-sized creatures, and you can always go upstairs with it.
Absolutely.
Looks like John is deciding whether or not he wants to attack with this Mogus Marauder. Oh, my... Yep, there you... Oh, getting in there. Oh, no. Marauder's feeling a little timid.
Looks like we're going to see a block, and then a loot. As soon as this card hits the graveyard, Jace will flip, exile, and come back as is Planeswalker form.
Yeah, it's just a free...
It's a neat little trick you can do with
free
Jace.
Prevention of damage, yeah. I don't believe any of the other Planeswalkers can flip in the middle of combat like that. Chandra technically could, but that's... If you're casting 3 red spells in the middle of combat anyway, you're probably not having any trouble.
No. I mean, you can flip Liliana pretty quickly.
That's true if you have a Nantuku Husk or something like that.
But she does not flip herself the way that Jace just did.
No, and that's one of the many reasons that Jace has looked really good today. Fueling Delve all day, flashing back burn spells, draw spells, the whole shebang. Oh, and there's a Wayfinder.
That's gonna be 1 damage from Sparks here. He's dropping down to the low life total of 5. You have to wonder if he's just dead here. He's tapped very, very low. Yeah, there's a lightning strike. Jace is gonna flash back. Just actual any red spell.
Yep,
and then that's gonna kill John.
Yep, we're in top 8. Might as well make him do it. Go through the motions.
All right, he's gonna minus. Yep. There we go.
Even cast the Exquisite Firecraft in case John had a 1 black counter spell.
Right. Playing tight is Zach Fleisher.
Oh yeah. Zach's been playing tight all day.
Absolutely.
No reason to stop now.
In our quarterfinal matchup of the Star City Regionals tournament. We had a long day, 9 rounds.
Oh yeah. It's been a long one.
A grueling day for these players. Let's take a look at some of the sideboard options here for Zach. He's got access to 2 Soulfire Grandmasters, 2 Revoke Existence, 1 Keranos God of Storms, 2 End Hostilities, 3 Disdainful Strokes, 2 Negates, and 3 Anger of the Gods. There's a couple of cards in this matchup I don't like very much. I don't particularly like Jeskai Charm too much. It's 4 damage, but it's probably the worst 4 damage spell, and you need to interact.
Yeah, it can also put an Nantuku Husk on top of your deck, or your opponent's deck, when they go all in, but I don't think that's how John's going to win this game. I think he's more likely going to grind Zach out.
It's definitely true. I do like these copies of Negate in the sideboard. Perhaps even the Disdainful Strokes, too. Probably not those. They're good against the companies and the rallies. Not much else.
What do you think about Anger of the Gods?
I think Anger is reasonable here. If you go on the same sideboard plan that he's been sticking to of siding out Abbots and bringing in Angers, it could be very effective. The removal the exile clause, very big on that card. It's not great if your opponent, Jonathan, sticks an early Nantuko Husk, but other than that, it's going to be very good.
Yeah, I agree. It exiling and not letting John rally his creatures back seems very good. A lot of the times, these Abzan rally decks, it's been built up as this crazy combo finish deck, but a lot of the games that they win, they just value rally. They cast a rally for 3.
Yeah.
They draw a bunch of cards off Grim Haruspex. They,
The first rally doesn't actually kill you.
Yeah, it's just for
but
value.
You're dead.
Yeah,
because they have so many cards that they go to discard. They discard whatever else they need for the next rally, and then the next rally is actually the one that gets you.
Yeah, they draw like 8 cards. They mill like 6 or 7 cards with Satyr Wayfinders. They flip a Liliana. They make you edict 2 of your creatures. It's the value rally is the one that kind of hits you on the chin, and then they go for the KO. So in Jonathan Sparks' sideboard, he has 1 Fleshbag Marauder, 4 Anaphens of the Foremost, 3 Drowned in Sorrows, 3 Erishan Clerics, 1 Reclamation Sage, 2 Dromoka's Command, and 1 Murderous Cut. I can see him bringing the Erishan Clerics in here. He just to pad his life total. Also, like I said, it makes the value rally in the mid game pretty reasonable. Gain a bunch of life so you don't get burned out.
Yeah.
I also like the Fleshbag Marauders. He needs answers to these Manish Riders, especially if the Abbots are coming out. He doesn't know that, obviously, but like Nathan said, Zach's been sliding like this all day, so if he's been anywhere near Zach, he's probably seen it. And the Murderous Cut seems okay. Dromoka's Command also seems good. It can prevent damage from a burn spell.
Yeah, definitely Dromoka's Command.
Make one of his creatures bigger. So I think he's going to side in the commands and probably the Clerics. The Fleshbag Marauder is kind of average, but
Dromoka's Command seems like his best defense, besides not dying to burn spells. It seems like his best defense against the Zangers.
Ooh, it's also incredibly good against Anger of the Gods.
Incredibly good against Anger of the Gods.
All right, looks like players are shuffling up. We are going into Game 2 of the quarterfinal match of the Star City Regional Tournament, brought to you by Wasteland Gaming.
Players going to look at their opening hands. Jonathan will be on the play for Game 2 with the Abzan Rally.
Oof. Like I said, we haven't seen a lot of this on camera today. Actually, none.
None. Just none of it.
Before John. He was
Lots of Abzan, none of it Rally.
Yeah, John was on one of our backup feature matches, but he didn't. He felled his opponent before we could switch over to him.
That's true. He was our backup last round for the win and end round of round 9. And he did finish his match before the blue-black control player finished his. Strange.
Yep, so it looks like Zach's going to keep his 7. And John is going to mulligan down to 6.
Not a good sign here. Zach keeping 7 and having the card advantage of being on the draw is a little scary, I think. Although, if the policy of mulliganing to better hands holds true, Jonathan's got a good shot. And I think the deck mulligans pretty well. You can recoup card advantage with things like Satyr Wayfinder, and then later, eventually, it looks like he's got a couple copies of Erishan Cleric in his hand. I think he's got 2 of them.
That's a good one.
I agree.
All right, looks like John's going to take a damage off his Mana Confluence to cast one of these Clerics and go up to 22.
It's a good start. I see a Mantis Rider in Zach's hand. If Jonathan doesn't have a way to get rid of that, we've gotten word from our table spotter that Jonathan has at least trimmed some of his Fleshbag Marauders. If that is true, it could be very difficult for him to get this Mantis Rider off the table. That's a lot of damage very quickly and consistently as well.
Yes.
This rally deck has... Oh, there's a Dromoka's Command. +1/+1 and fight.
Just get out of here, Jace.
And then hit you for 2. I like it.
It's very aggressive.
It is very, very aggressive. If Jonathan does not have a Fleshbag effect, this Mantis Rider is going to do a lot of work here.
Well, he missed his 3rd land drop, which is not great for John.
No, certainly not. A decent mulligan to 6, though, I think. He's able to deal with his opponent's Jace.
Zach on all basics.
Natural, Team America.
Mantis Rider getting in there. Sending John to 18.
I'm falling in love with this card over the course of this tournament. Mantis Rider is awesome.
Lightning Angel is awesome. Mantis Rider is double awesome.
Double awesome. You can say it again, because it's double awesome.
I was about to say, I'm not going to say it again, because I know you will. And you proved my point before I made it, so.
Yeah, you weren't wrong. See if Jonathan chooses to play the second copy of Erishan Cleric in his hand. Not too much else going on with only 2 lands. Looking for a copy of maybe Satyr Wayfinder? Something of the like.
Yeah.
Zach not interested in blocking, just going to take 2.
All right, John Sparks gaining 2 more, going back up to 20.
There's an attack for 3 from the Manus Rider.
Putting John back down to 17.
Ooh, Soulfire Grandmaster. I like that one.
That's a good one. That card has also been very impressive on camera today.
I believe we saw Zach activate the buyback on an Exquisite Firecraft. That was an incredible way to win the mirror there. Just gonna call your bluff, Jonathan. He's not gonna take any more free damage.
The Dromoka's command here
Not
would be...
interested. He may also have a copy of Wild Slash to just finish off that cleric. I don't know if it's better off in play or in the graveyard. I think it's like more scary in the graveyard, right?
Sure, I agree. Yeah, when John is casting... Oh, he does have the Wild Slash. But
there's the Wild Slash. It's got lifelink.
Yeah.
So Zach's gonna gain 2.
When John is casting his Den Protectors face up, that's how you know.
I agree.
He is in dire straits.
Protect this house. Get in my graveyard. Missing his 3rd land drop yet again. Just an attack for 3 here.
Dropping John down to 13. Yeah, he's gonna hit his 3rd land drop. Let's see if he has a Merciless Executioner or a Flashback Marauder to start chipping away at these creatures. I believe he has a Mogus Marauder in his hand and a Merciless Executioner.
Racing may be an interesting proposition at this point. He knows Zach's got lots of burn spells in his deck. John's deck not quite full of the same reach.
Unless you count Rally's reach, which they kind of are, but they're a very labor-intensive reach.
Not when you have nothing in your graveyard and no lands in play.
And there's the Mogus Marauder.
Looks like he's going to take 1 here from the...
Yeah, just get in there.
Just attacking for 1. 2. Just with the 1 creature. Pardon.
Well, looks like he's going upstairs with that Jeskai Charm. Gonna drop John down to 8.
Jeskai Charm doing its best War Leader's Helix impression. Jonathan all the way down to 5 after several attacks from this Manus Rider. And there's an Exquisite Firecraft.
Alright.
Okay, Jonathan. You can't use Mana Confluence anymore. Go.
Yeah, and as we've been seeing all day, Zach is playing very quick and nimble.
A fetch land off the top. The Rubbins from your deck.
And just pass the turn in. Yep, we're dead.
We have a Vigilant Flyer that you can't block, and you can't make mana.
Just show him. Just show him what he's doing to you.
An unfortunate way to end the tournament, dying to your mana base like this, but...
Putting the lands that he cannot use at all on the side.
To be fair, this Manus Rider did about 12 damage.
Getting in there. Oh, yeah. It just pounded Zach. Or, sorry, John. All right, looks like an attack for 5. Yep. Yeah, I'm going to crack my fetch. I'll show you. Jonathan Sparks going out like
there is the match. You're going to see Zach Fleisher take down Jonathan Sparks 2-0 in impressive fashion. Once again, top dog, showing exactly why he has been undefeated this tournament.
This Jeskai deck looks gross. He has just dispatched his opponents, put on a clinic. Oh, looks like he brought in the negates too.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and that's John's trophy that he's getting for top 8 in this event. Give us 1 second. We're going to see if we can swap over to our backup feature match. I believe it is Black Green Elves and Blue Black Control.
Yeah, no doubt that match is still going on because Blue Black Control is a part of it. So just give us 1 second and we will be back very shortly.
All right, welcome back. So it looks like right as we switch over to our backup feature match, Talon closed out a very close game 2 against Steven Sloan, with green-black elves going 2-0 against blue-black control.
Yes. On the back of a very powerful, you can see it on the top of his deck, Shaman of the Pack.
MVP, he has told me. This card has been insane all day. Many people have died to this 3-2. Not from attacking either.
You just sculpt your game plan around it, and then it fireballs them out of nowhere.
You also have 2 tutors for it in your deck, which is mighty stuff. All right, so from Jeff Souter and Nathan Satterfield in the booth, we will see you guys back in the semifinals in just a minute.